Hey guys, it's Jake with the NSB Woodsman channel, and picked this little ditty up from Walmart the other day. So I'm going to do a short video here trying out a beef jerky recipe. We're going to start dehydrating some food. So stay tuned. Let's do it. Alright guys, so I've got some skirt steak here. First thing I'm going to do is flip it over and I'm going to try and remove a bunch of this fat. I'm probably not using the exact right kind of steak for this, but it's my first attempt, so I just grabbed some cheap steak. So we're going to trim off some of this fat here on the back, and then it looks like the grain of the meat is going this way, so I'm going to start cutting strips like so, and cut it into short strips like this. So they're probably going to shrink up and just be like little bite-sized pieces by the time I'm done. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I'll get to that and come back to you. So here we go, guys. Look at all that pure fat came off this steak. I'm going to throw this in a pan, and this is going to be what we use to cook with our chicken. So nice. This will grease it up nice. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to start cutting strips, just like so, in here, and I'm going to try and cut them relatively thin. I'm going to try and do maybe at a diagonal. Unfortunately, if you do this, you want to have a nice sharp knife, and unfortunately, I'm not dealing with a nice sharp knife. So, see? I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll try and get in nice and close. But from everything that I've heard, you want to cut not across the grain, but with the grain of the muscle. I don't know if you can see. So it looks to me as though the grain is running this way. And so I'm not cutting across that grain. I'm slicing with that grain so that I keep that nice long piece, like so. So I'm going to cut up several strips of this. I'm just going to throw it in here, and I'm going to basically soak this for a few hours in some Worcestershire sauce. Here we go. Cayenne Pepper. Oh yeah. Okay. That's quite a bit. And I'm gonna stick that in the fridge for about an hour, 2 hours maybe, before I get started. Alright guys, so I got my marinated steak. I put the rub, the ingredients that I wanted to put on there, and they're dehydrating. So this dehydrator only has one setting. It's to check the meat in about 4 hours. And right now, what time is it, babe? Right now it's just after 7 o'clock, so before I go to bed, I'll check this stuff out and see what it's looking like. With beef jerky, you don't want to dehydrate it all the way. You want it to be relatively dehydrated. And then to finish this up, you basically just throw it in the oven. But I might have to get to that piece in the morning. So I'll check back with you guys in a few hours. Alright guys, so we're an hour in to this project here, and as you can tell, it's already looking a little bit like beef jerky around the edges, but where there's, obviously we still got a long way to go. It's still pretty plump and hydrated and everything. And where there was some remaining fat on there, obviously that's going to take a little bit longer to dry out. But, I mean, it's only been an hour. So far, I'm really pleased with how this thing is working out. Alright. Alright, guys. We are at 4 hours. It's 11 o'clock. Been watching TV for 4 hours straight. So we're going to try taking the lid off and taking a look at what we got so far. I've blocked myself out, so give me a second. Hold on. So if you guys can see that, I don't know if you can. There's still that marinade and juice on the bottom. What I should have done is about 2 hours turned it over, but yeah. Oh. Still a little red in the middle. So that probably still needs another couple hours. It's almost done. But I think at this point I'm going to flip them over, rotate them, so that way it can dry out the bottom half. Because what it looks like is, it looks like on here that the top half, which is now the bottom, so the top half is cooked and the bottom half is still pink. Let's see. Can you see it? Focus, focus. See how it's pink on the bottom? So, I'm going to flip them. Maybe let it sit for another couple hours, set my alarm, get up so I can turn it off. But, wow. I made it spicy, and it's delicious. Hey guys, it is 12:30. I just went and basically napped for an hour. I'm gonna unplug this now since it's about bed, you know, since it's so late at night, and the meat will continue to dry out overnight. Should be done anyways, but I'm just gonna let it sit here, and we'll check it in the morning. Alright guys, it is morning. I turned off the dehydrator at about 12:30 last night, just to let these things sit, dry out even more. And let's see how they feel like beef jerky. I'm going to cut one of the thicker ones and see what it looks like in the middle. These scissors just happen to be sitting here, so that's what I'm using. Alright. Well, it appears as though there's a little bit of pinkness right there in the middle. So I'm going to toss these in the oven today. It said, basically, in the instructions for doing meat with this dehydrator, that basically you're going to dry it out for about 4 hours and then put the oven at like 275 or something like that and toss them in the oven for about 10 or 15 minutes. Just to get them to a high enough temperature where they're going to kill any possible bacteria. These, of course, have been sitting overnight. I don't think there's anything to worry about, but I'm going to do it anyways just to make sure that they are completely safe for the family to eat too. Alright, so I'll stick these in the oven this morning and then we'll call it good. I'll show you the finished product. Alright guys, took the jerky out of the oven, let it sit for a few minutes, and it bends. It's not super dry where it just breaks. As you can see, the oil's still kind of leaking out from them. So I'll take them off, put them in a bag, and call it good. I've tasted this. I made it really spicy, and it is really good. So first project on the dehydrator. Let's call it a success.